Welcome back to another video. It is your boy Monix, and today we're going to be talking about the biggest problem that I think that's going on with Splitgate Arena Reloaded, and why I think that it can't take off as it should have. Like basically what it should be doing right now. Now, like I said, I am aware. Before someone says in the comments, I am aware of the word of marketing that 1047 Games is trying to do. I understand that, right? But at the same time, though, you would think, like I said in my last video, when I was reviewing the LMGs and I was going on this little side tangent, I was saying that word of marketing would be a lot more faster, and it would, like, spread through the networks of family, of family or friends of friends, whatever the case may be. You would think it would be a lot faster. You think a lot of people would get the news by now. But guys, I don't know, man. I think there's an ongoing issue that I'm about to say. I'm not gonna hold you guys any longer on what I'm about to say, but there's an issue that we all of us Splitgate, whether we played ever since Splitgate 1, or whether we, first got introduced to Splitgate 2, like, well into the Splitgate franchise, excuse me, through Splitgate 2, and we just happen to stay in the game during the droughts of Splitgate 2 and became better players, or vice versa with Splitgate 1, vice versa, right? I think we all should know that we're definitely in the niche, we're in the minority of players that have gotten better, when there's like only like a few hundred or thousands of players, whether you play Splitgate 1 or 2 or both, whatever the case may be. I think that we all deny it, but at the same time, I think we do understand why, or the issue of like our play styles. And today we're gonna be talking about not just that, but also just like the niche competitive nature of Splitgate, and or just the genre that it's trying to represent, which is arena shooters, and also the mechanic that actually entices you to play the game, but at the same time actually, like, all it is just 1 or 2 games of portal frustration just for you to not want to play the game again. And basically what I've just said, it's about triple portal, or yeah, just triple portaling, right? Now, a lot of people will say triple portal spamming, which, yeah, we'll talk about that, but there's also another thing I want to talk about too, and that's basically how fast someone can triple portal, and why that can contribute into people not wanting to even touch Splitgate, because they see it as like just, oh heck nah, I don't want to go against that. Why would I want to get better at this when I'm like good at the current game that I'm playing, the main game that I'm playing? Or I'm just a casual, hey, I don't want to learn a new mechanic, whatever the case may be. Different reasonings of why someone doesn't want to learn portals, whatever the case may be, right? And I'm be honest, okay, back when 1047 Games were doing their play tests and stuff, we were all watching the play tests, or some of us actually played in these play tests if you have a PC, right? Now, I don't know if you guys knew this. Now, some of you guys will know, definitely. If you're a hardcore Splitgate fan, you will know what I'm about to talk about. But back in one of these play tests, they actually considered about adding portal charges, and they actually tested out portal charges in one play test during Splitgate 2, right? And basically, you can kind of get the gist of what happened to the portal charges. Basically, I guess you can say the quote-unquote Splitgate 1 crowd had their way, I guess you can say that. And they just, like, hex nah. Basically, what we all was saying, well, I won't say all, but when a lot of people were saying why portal charges didn't work, is because it kind of actually punished both types of players. It punished the casual players because they have to learn at a slower rate. Now, this is not, by the way, guys, this is coming from other people. I'm not saying that because this is not my argument. This is what coming from other people. Like, basically, it creates like a slower rate of growth, to learn portaling. And not only that, but the sweats can actually exploit portal management, and whatever the case may be. Like I said, I think that's the gist. I might be wrong, but that's what people have been saying. Might be right on the left field on this, but I think that's what actually the argument was. going against portal charges, and there were actually some pros to portal charges. Like with every con, there's a pro, right? For example, once you wasted all your portals, you be in a cooldown, so you have to think more raw positioning or raw, strategy thinking, whatever the case may be. It basically kind of made it a lot more tolerable, well, for the casual players especially. But the problem is that with these playtests, it was really only the hardcore audience that was, participating in these playtests. When you only have the hardcore audience of your fan base that only tries out, basically the only type of players that tried out the playtest, every single one of them is going to say, hey, portal charges does not work. They're also going to want the game to feel like Splitgate 1. They're going to be basically the loud majority, because there was nobody left, right? There was no casual players, get some info about casual players, nor, just average players. Like, basically, there was only hardcore players that you were able to take feedback from. And I know they said something about we're going to get information from people who never played Splitgate during the playtest and try to get them to, participate in these playtests, if I remember correctly. But I don't know how that went out, but it seems like it wasn't the case. Now, maybe it was the case, and it was just like insider stuff. I have no clue, but all we gotta know is that portal charges did not work, but only into the accord of Splitgate 1 players, right? Or Splitgate 2 players that have just gotten used to, dual portaling around the map, cross map like it's no tomorrow, right? And this is coming from a guy who is a portal sweat himself. I'm not a portal demon. I'm really not, but I am definitely a portal sweat, and I acknowledge that, and I also acknowledge that I could be ruining somebody's experience, and I understand that. I know people would just say, well, Monix, no portals can be the answer. Yeah, but who will really want to play a secondary mode that doesn't really revolve around that mode? The whole game is based around portals. It's based around the whole mechanic. And when you're playing no portals, you're not really playing what makes Splitgate unique. With that in mind, you're just going to just go back to Halo or Quake or Unreal Tournament. Bro is probably gonna be going back to Quake Live anyways, because it's basically just a normal arena shooter without portals. So what's the point of playing a secondary mode of like the game that actually revolves around a mechanic and what makes it unique? And I'm not even playing those modes that enable portals, but I'm over here on no portals, just around over here chilling. So why not just go back to Quake Live at that point, or play Halo Infinite? People who are watching this video, which probably is you and also myself, since we are like decent at portals, or maybe even really good with portals, depending on what your spatial skill level is, we're over here telling these people to like basically, hey, if you don't like it, don't play it. But at the same time, they don't play it, game's dead. You basically, yeah. So I'm not saying that portal charges should be like 100% be in the game. I'm not trying to convince you guys about that. I'm just trying to say we shouldn't write things off so quickly as like, hardcore Splitgate fans, or just, people who main Splitgate now, basically. I'm just saying that we shouldn't trash talk like, somebody's skill level, saying that, or, undermining their skill level, saying that, oh, if you're not going to get used to this, then you might as well just leave this franchise. And we're basically contributing to the game's failure in some type of way, if you think about it on that mark. So, but that's all I gotta say. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm not trying to like, get anybody down or anything, but this is what I think. Tell me in the comments below what you think about this, and like, also, what's your skill level in portals? I really want to know. I'm curious to see like how good someone is with portals in the comment section, and how it affects their gameplay of themselves or even others. And yep, have you also heard somebody rage quit because everyone was portaling everywhere in one match? Whatever the case may be, let it be known in the comments below. Your boy Mar next gotta go. I gotta flow. Whoa.